Let me just blow my nose.
Welcome to the Dirty Dog Comedy Podcast, episode 7, I believe. I've got Alan Martin today.
Hello, everyone.
He's, well, I was going to say a veteran comedian, but you're not a veteran comedian, you're just a veteran, aren't you?
Yeah.
He's hitting on a bit. Anyway, it's lovely to have you, Alan. Oh, by the way, I always say this, we are coming from the Dirty Dog Comedy Club. Live stand-up comedy every Friday in Southend-on-Sea. If you're ever interested, pop down. Alan, been here a few times, haven't you, mate?
I come as often as I can. I think it's brilliant.
As you can.
Yeah.
That's it. We love having you when you can come. So you got through the blackout the other night?
I did, and it was a lot more fun than I thought. I actually had quite a golden day that day.
Really?
I've only just started putting videos on YouTube and things, and I've had a few people who I know say, "Oh, that's a nice video," or "Well done, you," or something, you know, because your friends do, don't they?
Yeah.
But is it the blackout again?
Oh, we're back in the room.
Hello.
Technical difficulties there. I think it's because we talked about the blackout. That's
The
quite mad,
ghost
isn't
of
it?
the blackout.
The ghost of the.
I nearly went off stage then.
So, come on in, tell me about the blackout. You had a golden day.
I had a golden day. You know how your friends might say, if they've seen a video of you or something, saying, "Oh, that's really good," and you know, and they're being nice and kind, aren't they? They're your friends or people you know. But I had a stranger contact me telling me they really enjoyed my video, which really made my day.
Oh, brilliant.
And then I went to the blackout, and it was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I met a lot of comedians I didn't know, which was nice, and they were very kind as well, which is nice. But also, a family in the audience sought me out at the end and asked to have my picture taken with them.
Brilliant.
Which was amazing.
That's always good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I normally get people taking pictures of me to avoid everyone else away from me, sort of thing.
Listen, before we get too far into it, because I know you well enough that you don't like compliments, so get it out of the way now. I don't think I'd be doing this if it wasn't for you, because although initially I wanted to do it for 40 odd years, I never really had the time or the guts or whatever, and then I went to up the road. They organised an outside of their venue show back in last November in Holbridge, I think it was there, and it was also a writing course, you know. So I went. Karen booked it for us. My wife's very supportive when we went there, and I really enjoyed it. And I started going there, but I still didn't have the guts to do it. And then someone said that, you know, you've got a night, and I'll be truthful. I came here initially because I thought, if I really bomb and I really don't like it, or that I'm really awful, no one knows me here.
Yeah.
So it'd be, you know, and you know, so that's what I did. But I loved it, and you've been so supportive. You let me come as often as I want. So supportive, to the degree that now when I do a 5-minute set, which a lot of the clubs want you to if they don't know you, I struggle because it's so small compared to what I'm used to doing. But you are very, very supportive. Don't believe that the hype about him, you know, when you sort of look at him and he looks tough, and he's not tough. He's very, very supportive. And can I also mention, he's off camera, but your son, I think, is amazing. The way he does all the backroom stuff. He never asks for any credit, and he just does it all.
You don't have to live with him.
Well, I'm not sure I would. He's ginger.
Shout and scream, "Oi!"
No, I was ginger. No, fortunately, people moan about my age or joke about my age and stuff, but they don't realise I was ginger before. That was a double reason to hate me.
Had even more.
I know.
I
know, but no, seriously, I want to get out of the way so that you wouldn't get too embarrassed later on. I've got huge thanks to you.
Well, I only actually have you here because you remind me of my ex's dad. It's the wooden leg.
I thought
it's not.
Was he really handsome then?
He still is. He's not dead. We're just not together anymore. He was a hilarious man. You just remind me a little bit of him. That's not why I have you.
Nice.
Of course, it's not why I have you.
My dad was very, very funny, and he was such a prankster as well. He once interviewed people just with a coat hanger, just on the street.
Brilliant.
Things my dad's done, you wouldn't believe.
Brilliant.
But yeah, I missed him so much.
Yeah, my ex's dad, he was a massive character. Yeah. Oh, he is a massive character. Yeah, I miss him quite a lot actually. But you do remind me a little. That's not why I have you here. You know, I like to try and support any.
You do support people.
New comedian coming on. I think it's because I had a bit of an hard time when I first started. So,
well, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to come here. It really, really is. And you know, you get on the circuit. You often bump into people you see. For instance, I bumped into Eddie on Monday. Eddie.
He's odd.
No. Well, he might be. Eddie Funfetti is his Twitter name and Instagram name. Eddie, I can never pronounce his surname. The Mexican guy.
Oh, the American guy.
Yeah,
American
guy.
He's a
really
lovely
funny.
fella. Yeah,
he's really nice. Bumped into him Monday. On Sunday, I did a gig with Eddie Woods. Ellie, you know,
Okay.
and she's lovely, isn't she?
Yeah, Ellie's lovely.
Yeah.
We had Ellie
know.
week before last.
I watched
on
it.
There,
Yeah, I watched it.
She's lovely, Ellie. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
I mean, but
brilliant.
there's certain people. There's a lot of people on there that I know now. It's always lovely when you go to a gig, particularly if it's out your area, like it was on the other day. And there's someone there, you know. It's always nice. It's also nice to meet new people, new comedians, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a nice community. Where there's a little bit of bitchiness here and there, and there's a few people that I think take advantage old nights just to have a little bit of power over people or whatever. But
I've got to say, I like to think I at least present as reasonably nice, but there are one or two people who I don't like. But there's one or two people, even if you did a knitting circle or an embroidery or something, there's one or two people you're
of
not going
course
to
it
like.
is. Yeah. That's one thing I've learned over the
Yeah.
years. I used to get very, what's the word? Bit emotional about people not liking me. But I've recently learned that it don't really matter. Does
Well, it's
it?
not so much they're not liking me with me. It's because it's the punching down. Like, you know how you might banter with me about being old and stuff? That's absolutely fine. Do you know what? That's absolutely fine? Because you've made connection with me already. You've spoken to me.
Yeah, I don't mean anything.
No,
by it.
and I love it. I absolutely adore it. I really love it. But when it's a stranger and they punch down, like I had one of the comedians once say to me, he said to the bloke in front of me on the table, he said, "Oh, that old bloke behind you," and it's not even an ounce of funniness there.
No,
it's just rude.
I tend to only take a piss at you or bringing you on stage.
But no,
or
you're
or if
welcome
you're
to.
in the audience.
Yeah, but you're welcome to, because we're friends now. But even take it back before we were friends, we connected when we first met because you took the trouble to say hello. But if people don't, and I must admit, I'm not very quiet when people say things like that. The guy said, I did say in the middle of his act, and I shouldn't have done really. He's unprofessional at me, but I said, that's not even funny. I said, if you make it funny, then I'd laugh. But if more to the point, if you spoke to me about it rather than that bloke behind you talking to someone else, you know, it's like
I think sometimes it can come across as sort of a bullying nature, can't it?
I felt it was bullying.
And not only that as well, but I think with the comedy circle, I think we're all different shapes and sizes and ages and genders aren't we? And me and Ellie was talking about this because Ellie said, "What do you feel about women comedians coming?" And I said, "I think we need more women, but we need more women that aren't in that feminine, not feminine women. What I mean is they're not in that feminist. You know, they categorise themselves as a woman, and I should be allowed to do." Women, like I've always said, and me and Eddie was talking about this again and on again. If you did watch it, probably not. But why can't we all just be comedians? Why do we have to be a gender or an age or?
Someone was saying to me the other day
anything?
that they were talking about categories. It was a talk I went to, and they were talking about categories of comedians. You know, like character comedian or I almost said self-defecating, which is a lot worse. Self-depreciating, you know. And women used to be a recognised character. You know, that was like when a promoter was booking a bid, it's like, I'll have two idiots, sort of. I'll have two political, I'll have two of this. I'll have one woman, regardless of the type of comedy. That's wrong. But
Definitely, yeah.
You are right. There's room for all kinds. It's very easy, particularly when you're first starting out, to sort of be like everyone else. And because there's a lot of people, for instance, who are like the female comedians who are feminists, it's easy to fall into that trap. There's a lot of people who just tell all kinds of jokes, and there's a mix mash. I'm trying to develop. You'll see me tonight. I'm still mostly the same, but I'm dressing differently tonight because I started doing that the other night. Yeah,
You're not coming in a mankini or something, are you, Alan?
What do you think? Have I still got the figure for it?
No.
Or
the legs.
I've got the leg for it. No, I'm still sort of. It's odd at my age. I'm 64 years old. But it's odd at my age that I'm still trying to find myself in this new. I still call it a hobby, because I was saying to somebody the other night, I can't think of it as a career, because if I'm thinking about a lifelong career, what are we talking about? 18 months at the most before I pop it?
Oh, don't be silly! You got at least
19 months,
19, 21 left in you.
Yeah.
No, I think you should look at it as a career. Look, you've you've had your career, and you're like, not I was going to say life's over then, but it's not over. But your working life is over.
Yeah.
And even if nothing comes of it, why shouldn't you?
Well, there's no
look at
pressure
it
on me,
as
is
a
there?
career? No, of course there ain't.
There's no pressure on me because I'm not anticipating that I'm going to be going to Edinburgh. I'm going to go in live on the Apollo. I'm not anticipating any of that. I'm having fun.
Just enjoy it.
I am. I still get surprised though. I mean, Miles Carter said this to me the other week. He said, "You're very dark, your humour," and it was the first time anyone said that to me. I didn't realise my humour was dark, but when I think about it, it probably is. Well, on Sunday, I went to G&B, and he said to me, "Would you come back tomorrow as well?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Tomorrow's our Dark Desires." No, Dark Delights, beg your pardon. Dark Desires is another website. Dark
Google
Delights. Dark Delights.
No, don't Google it, Oscar.
No, don't. You're too young.
So he's got child lock on his laptop.
Dark Delights, and it's dark humour. And again, it surprised me. He said, "Oh, you're very dark," and I thought, "Am I?" But I suppose I am. And I think I'm unusual in so much as I'm quite aware of how I look. For instance, I can't get away like with certain categories of jokes. I can't get away with sex jokes really because I just look like a perv.
I don't think that's true.
Well, I think it is.
I think if you look completely different to your comedy, I think it's shocking and it's funny.
Well, I can see that, but I still don't think I could pull it off. I do skirt around it sometimes. Sometimes I might use a fictional friend, my friend Dave's wife or something, but I'm not that comfortable with it. I'm also not that comfortable with swearing because I don't swear because we're ringing up Callum.
Yeah.
So I don't swear unless I'm angry or if I'm ill I swear. You know?
But I think if you don't swear and then you say something shocking, it's
a lot
funnier.
of people say that. Yeah, a lot of
Because
people say that
don't expect it as much.
if you use a swear word towards the end, two-thirds of the way in.
I swear pretty much every other word, but I look like I think I look as I am. Like I look what I am on stage. So it's not.
My only criticism of you, if you don't mind, is you always often say, I'm a bit thick. I'm not very bright. You are very bright. I mean, you can tell by your writing. No. Seriously, again, I'm not blowing smoke up you. You can tell it. You should understand that you don't present the way you think you present. That's a side to you, yeah. But you also present as a very insightful, bright, observational comedian. Yeah. But you don't like compliments. And you're in the wrong business if you like compliments. We're all here because we've got mental problems. We want to be loved. You know, and you are very, very good.
Oh well, thank you.
Yes, I think so.
That's really kind of
And do you know what else? When you actually do a set rather than just MC, and so you get the whole flow of everything, it's absolutely magical. I've seen that a few times now.
Yeah, I don't get to do it too much here, do I? Because I'm constantly MCing. But I done a gig last night actually. I was a bit of a no, it's not actually. Ramesh Ranganathan's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I opened for him.
Where was that?
Not quite Ramesh yet. Rochester Bodega.
Very good.
That's why we didn't open down here, but because I didn't have anyone to cover. Because obviously Bilal would always cover me if I'm away, and Bilal was hosting that, so
you couldn't do it.
He's up there, and I didn't have a lot of comedians last night because I don't think I advertised. So, but we'll be back next week as usual, open every single week. And we've got our gig tonight in Shoeburyness. Are you looking forward to that?
I'm immensely looking forward to that. Do you know, it's the first gig I've been actually asked to do rather than applied for. So
I always ask you to do gigs.
I know, but it's very but this is the first time. So don't forget, for those that don't know, I've only been doing this since June the 13th. Do you know why I picked June the 13th? Because it was a Friday, so it went wrong. It's not my fault, is it? It's superstition.
Well, I think there's a bit of a change coming your way. You're getting a bit of a name out there.
I do hope so.
People are enjoying your comedy.
I do hope so. But you see, again, I'm not blowing smoke at you, but you've given me the space to learn. I'm a long way off being great, but I'm comfortable now. I'm comfortable now for that. If my friends and family came and see me, I'd let them. Whereas beforehand I wouldn't, because I know they'd said, "Oh, you're really good, Alan." That's what they say. You're really, really good. They're going to say that because they care about me. And it wouldn't be true, but now I think I'm good enough that they wouldn't.
It is hard, isn't it, when you first start, because you don't really mind if you've flunk in front of people you don't know.
No.
But and not only that as well, taking the leap of faith doing comedy. Even at my age, I mean, I didn't start doing it till I was in my 40s.
That's quite late, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very late. Yeah. People seem to think you're a bit of a joke. Sort of, don't they? They sort of think, "Oh, what's he fucking doing that for?"
But do you not like that? The aftermath of that. I've often been here or been somewhere else, and because most comedians are younger than me, and well, the other day there was someone older than me. I loved it, but yeah, no,
Really?
I'm not sure he's still
They
alive.
didn't wheel him in on a coffin, did they? Was it Paul Bear that's taking him out?
I said, I'm not sure if that's the right material for you to wear. I think you should really wear, mahogany. But
Yeah.
but anyway, but it was very unusual. What was I saying?
You said there was someone there older than you.
Oh
the other day.
no! You're talking about people who say, "What's he doing?" at his age?
Oh yeah.
One of the things I said to my wife, one of the things I really love about this is people who haven't seen you before. The other comedians were talking about, your peers, so to speak. They look at you. They're nice. They're polite, and they're even quite
To
kind.
your face.
To you, well, probably after actually, but I think with most of them. But once they've seen you, not everyone obviously, because comedy by its nature is subjective, isn't it? But the amount of someone comes up to me and they say, "Wow, I didn't expect that. I've got to give you that," or "You were really good," and you all of a sudden you've got respect, because one of the things which you won't find yet, because you're still working, regularly. When you get older, you do become invisible, very much. You really do, and all of a sudden I've got a visibility again, and it's absolutely wonderful. Not just from my peers, but I feel better in myself, But I am a bit weird. I'm a bit weird in so much as I get into something, and then it's like all shiny thing over there, and I do something else. Like only about 5-6 years ago, maybe I might be wrong on this, but about 5-6 years ago, I started baking.
Okay.
Right? My baking isn't pretty, but it's good enough that people ask for it, this, that, or the other. Even in COVID, someone wanted to come down for one of my cakes, and
Wow.
you can't come down. It's not an emergency. It is. I want your cake. And before
He's not a hash cakes or something, can I, Alan?
my age,
What are you putting in them? Fucking your pills?
my
Heroin?
idea of a hash cake these days is a hash brown, innit?
Yeah, that's it.
But and before that I did my ham radio, in Morse code and all that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got really into that. I still do it sometimes, but this is taking up my whole life at the moment, pretty much, and I'm loving it. But I couldn't do it, not only without you, and I couldn't have done it really without the Up the Road thing, because that, if I'm absolutely truthful, they had one act on Up the Road I didn't like at all, and that probably inspired me to do comedy more than if everyone had been excellent.
Yeah, good. Let people spur you on.
Yeah,
Don't ever take any...
Yeah, but if everyone had been excellent, I thought, oh God, I can't do that. But when someone was bad and they were still doing it, not bad, just doing comedy to me, and they were still doing it, I thought, yeah, that's really good. No, I'm absolutely loving it. But very importantly, my Karen, my wife.
Your secretary.
Yeah, she said to me the other night.
I remember when I asked you to do a gig, and you went, "Oh, hang on a minute, Karen, am I free on the phone?"
I have to ask her.
Oh, I'll have to have a look, Alan.
Well, we're bringing up my grandson from my first marriage, Callum, and he's now 10. He was 10 in April, and we've had him since he was 13 months, which is
Brilliant.
Karen and I are both disabled in one way or another. Karen's got double curvature; she's very short. I mean, you would rip her a new one if she could see you. But she's a very strong, very capable woman. She's absolutely amazing, and most importantly, she's very supportive for this.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah.
So she's, I couldn't do this without her supporting me. I mean, when I go to London, she makes me a little bleeding packed lunch.
Oh, bless
I
her.
know. She stays up for me, or she'll get up, and when I come home, I say, "You mustn't do that," but she does. But Callum is amazing. Callum's got ADHD and ASD and all those things. But he sounds worse on paper than he is in real life. He's 90% angel, 10% terrorist. I've got two wonderful stories about Callum, if I may.
Yeah, go on.
One is, my Karen's got a Vauxhall Mocha, and it's bright green, fluorescent
I've seen
green.
it, yes.
Fluorescent green. And the reason we got that colour is Karen let Callum choose the colour.
God.
I know. And I said to him, Callum, I said, did you know? I said that Lamborghinis are often that colour. And he's just, bearing in mind he's autistic and stuff, right? He turned to me and he said, Grandad. I said, what? He said, Nanda's car's not a Lamborghini, it's a Lamborghini. Which I thought was brilliant. And one of the other funny things, because he's autistic and he's very black and white, he had his friend around, Teddy around, and he's autistic as well, I think. And
You think?
well, you don't like to ask, really. And also my memory, I probably do know, but I do forget things a lot. he said to me, Karen had just got a new iPhone, and the box was on the table next to me. Karen was in another room, and Karen said to me, "Granddad," I went, "Yeah." He said, "Has Nana got a new phone?" I went, Yeah, she's got a new phone. So when she dies, can I have it? But it gets worse or better. I said, Callum, you can't say that. It's not a nice thing to say. You really can't say that. And he didn't understand. You could see it from his face. He was puzzled. He didn't understand. But he accepted what I'm saying, so he couldn't say that.
What he should have said back was, mind you, you'll probably be dead before her. So.
Well, that leads me on to what he said to Teddy Ray and me. He stood there for about a minute, 30 seconds, a minute, and he looked at me again. He said, "Granddad, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "When I'm a grown up, will you and Nana both be dead?" I said, "I've broken to him gently." I said, "Well, sadly, yeah. It's just the way of the world. This is what happens, sadly. But don't worry, there'll be other people around to look after you and help you, and we do love you very much. But sadly, yes, we won't be here." He just turned away from me, looked at Teddy, and said, "Teddy, I've got you a phone too. We can be YouTubers."
Bring him down here. He sounds fucking hilarious.
He's better than me.
You should nick some of his material.
I should.
Get on a little writing course with him.
He is love of our life, but of course, a lot of our life. The reason why I asked Karen, I'm afraid, a lot of our life now is about doing things for him. I mean, like the summer holidays, we don't stop. Yeah,
I can imagine.
We went to London for 3 days. We went to Longleat for a couple of days. You know, we're taking him here, there, and everywhere. When we're not away, we're doing absolutely everything for him. And in the evenings, if there's a children's party or there's something he does, like on a Wednesday, he does a special at gaming. We have to support him and take him because it's his social life. And of course, that means that what's really odd is most of our friends now, apart from a few, are younger than us because it's unusual to be grandparents bringing up kids. Yeah. So that's really strange as well. But it's not in a nice way because they kind of look up to Karen, especially. Yeah, she's
or down. She's only
I said to Karen's mum. I said to Karen's mum once. I hadn't met her long either, so it probably wasn't the right time to say it. I said, "Your Karen is 4'9" or 6 foot when she's got her mouth open."
Yeah, it's like most women, to be fair, isn't it? So let me touch on. So you used to be a salesman. Was that you? Give us a history of Alan Martin.
Work-wise history?
Yeah. What did you start off doing?
Started off
as a youngster
as an accounts clerk.
Oh,
I know
nice.
it's very very boring for me because I do like chatting, and you can't really in that kind of.
No, accountants are normally quite boring, aren't they?
They are. And then I became a buyer by accident. Really, I worked at a company where they kept moving you around. So as I started, I was on the hire desk because it was a plant hire company. I ended up being the buyer. Which, when I left there, I applied for a job as a buyer at an engineering company that did aerospace engineering. I went there. Oddly enough, it was the same place where my first job was in accounts, but I went back as a buyer this time. It's really, really weird going back. I was there for a number of years. Then I moved to a company near the airport. Southend Airport, which this is a really strange company but very profitable. What they would do, do you know, like when someone buys like a new aircraft, like a new Boeing or McDonnell Douglas?
No. Funnily enough, I don't know anyone that's ever bought a fucking airplane, Alan.
Do you know?
No, I don't sort of mix in them circles. The people I hang around with normally buy a second-hand car, not a fucking aeroplane, mate. I ain't P. Diddy.
Well, I don't mean an actual person. I mean,
But go on.
I mean like Air India. I don't know. Air
Like a
France.
company.
Company.
Air India don't buy new
they
aeroplanes, surely.
No, they don't actually. I'll tell you a
They
story
just
about
patch up the old ones. I've seen the videos on YouTube.
I'll tell you a story that I heard about them in a minute. But these companies that buy aircraft, they obviously have to buy a lot of spares because they can't afford the aircraft to be not working.
Off the road,
It's called
or off the air, yeah.
It's called AOG, aircraft on ground. And when you're AOG, they give you the
Losing money.
Yeah, they give you the tail number of the aircraft, and everyone just does backflips to try and help them. It's really, really serious. So they have like a whole body of spares, which is what they're estimated to use during the life of the aircraft. Truth is, they don't tend to use them all because it's just an estimate. So when they come on to sell the planes to the second user, and that's where India will come in, I'll tell you in a minute, second user or third user, then they've got a lot of spares, and the people who are buying the planes off them, second-hand, not second-hand cars, second-hand planes, don't want to buy all the spares because it's too much money. So then basically, companies like where I worked, put in a sealed bid, they go and look at the stock, and they put a steel bid in, and then you end up hopefully winning the bid, buying all the spares, and then when the second and third users want spares, they don't go to the manufacturer, they go to you because they're new old stock. But the great thing about the job is you make up your own prices. You look on history and see what else they want. You just make a price depending on how urgent someone is, how desperate they are. You put it up a little bit. And it was a really, really weird company, but very, very good. And then I decided that the salesmen there, they all were treated so much better than us buyers, all of them. If we did something wrong, we were hauled over the coals. Yeah? If they did something wrong, it was just one of those things. Better luck next time. It's a really different attitude, really is. And they earn loads more money. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. But I couldn't get into that. So I became the dreaded. Well, no, I didn't initially. I forgot this. Initially, I was selling last will and testaments. I was.
Now you're buying them.
Yeah. No, I was, and it was really weird because I never done sales before, and it was a family friend who wanted someone to do it in the evening. So I was working at the company in the day. I did this in the evenings, but I'd never done sales. It wasn't as easy as I thought initially. I tend to overthink things. That's my problem. So I remember my first appointment. I was there for like 2 hours. I had about 3 cups of tea, and I didn't like to bring up the subject of what I was selling, even though I was invited to sell it to them. So I left without even talking to them about wills. It was really weird. But anyway, I did that for a while, and I ended up getting over myself and doing it really well. And then I decided, I saw an advert for Zenith. You know, they're quite hard to sell, Zenith, double glazing and that.
Oh, yeah.
They wanted conservatory salesmen, and I thought, no, I don't think that's for me. I thought, no, I'll give it a ring. And I gave them a ring. And I put the phone down, but they phoned me back because they did 1471 my number. And they persuaded me to come for an interview. And of course, they give everyone a job, don't they? They gave me a job selling conservatories, and I had to be trained in it. I didn't have a clue what to do with conservatories. Anyway, I earned a stupid amount of money. And do you know why?
Cool.
Well, once I got over myself about the overthinking, because I do overthink things, I'm quite a slow starter and things like that. I then worked out all the nooks and crannies, and I worked out what I can take from the training and what I can add to it. Right? I know it sounds a bit full of myself, but I like to think I'm reasonably bright. This is back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
1 week, my most ever week, I earned £7,000.
Fucking hell.
That month, I earned £19,000.
Bloody hell.
Like, a ridiculous amount of money.
Could have bought an house in
I know,
days for that.
pretty much could. It was ridiculous amount of money. And do you know why? I worked out why I did it. Because I'm not what you expect from a salesman, particularly from a hard sell company like Zenith. I don't go in and push. I'm gentle. This is what I said to you. You said about, I said to you before, I think this is not going to be so bad for me because I was a salesman. What I did learn there is I would do pretty much the same pitch every single time I saw a customer. Vary it a bit depending on who they were, personalities a bit.
Your
like
script.
Yeah, script, basically. Even the same jokes at the same time, even the same stories at the same time. You change it a little bit, don't you, in front of people, like with the audiences. But I realised that once you master it and you make it feel conversational and you give a bit of yourself, you've got to give a bit of yourself, haven't you?
Yeah.
You can't just be automatic. Like I've seen a very famous comedian. He was an automatic pilot. He was dialing it in, and I was so disappointed I was. You can't do that. The audience, whether they're paying or whether they're not paying, they deserve you to do your best, don't they?
Of course they do.
So even though I was earning lots of money, that was secondary. That wasn't the point. In the moment, I'm looking after the customer completely, and it doesn't really matter if it's £1 or £1.50 or £500, whatever, or £28,000 they spend. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that the people are happy and they feel looked after. People forget what you say, but they never forget how they feel.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I'm wise now. That's my age,
It's quite mad.
No, so I love sales, and but going back to you again, if you hadn't have given me the latitude to sort of keep coming back and back, although I don't think I was terrible my first time, you was quite
I think
surprised.
you was really good. I said to you, you was really good. Yeah.
But what's really nice for me is, I think I'm getting better.
You are. You're getting much better every time I see you. Yeah.
And what's wonderful for me is that you are seeing it, because you are there from the beginning, really. That's very important to me.
I'm glad I was there from the beginning. I'm going to see you grow and overtake me and
I'm never going to overtake you.
Be the greatest.
No, I'm not.
The greatest old codger on the block.
Well, at the moment you can come and see me live, but in a year or two you come and see me dead. Probably.
No, you got years left here.
I did die. I did die a few years
I know.
ago.
Tell us about that, because you obviously we're actually fellow amputees, aren't we? You
Well-
got a little bit. Well, look, I'm missing the top of my finger. I know you're missing most of one foot and a leg, but
We don't say amputated anymore.
what do we say now?
What we say now, because amputated is a very hard word, isn't it? A very negative word. I'm now starting to tell people I've got one leg shorter than the other.
A lot shorter than the other.
Just over a foot in reality.
Hey. I've got the only story of amputism. Is that amputism a word? Is it?
Do you know what? If you say a word long enough, it becomes part of the English language.
Let's call it
everyone starts
amputism.
saying that word in everyday conversation.
And it's not really. It's a bit of a funny story actually. It's when I was in the army. There was you obviously all sleep in rooms together. Not like in a gay way, like you have to. It's the army, called in billets, and we was in 16-man rooms. And you sort of tend to notice a lot about each other, don't you, day by day. And one of the young recruits that I was doing my training with, come in, he was walking awfully funny. He was, sort of looked like he needed a shit. Do you know what I mean? He was like, and we was all like, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" And he was like, "Oh, it's my bollocks. My bollocks are really hurting. My bollocks are really hurting." And we was like, "Well, what have you done? What have you done?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. My bollocks are really hurting." Anyway, as we're all saying this, we had this mad Corporal Wallace, his name was, Scottish, obviously, paratrooper, absolute fucking lunatic. I think he'd either done too many tours of Northern Ireland or been dropped on his head a few times. And he come in and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" This is my best Scottish accent. "What's wrong with you?" To this young recruit. And it's my bollocks, Corporal, it's my bollocks. Da, 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 da. First thing he said, "When was the last time you had a wank?"
No.
"Oh, yeah." And we all just sort of, fucking, what's going on here, sort of thing, like, you know what I mean? And he went, "When was the last time you all had a wank?" And I'm thinking, what, all together? We're only like 16, 17, we're all sort of looking at each other going, "We don't wank, what's he going on about?" Like, fucking... Anyway, he's gone, "Get in there and have a wank," to this fucking young recruit. Anyway, he's troddled off fucking on his gone into the ablutions, as we used to call it, the toilets. And he's come back out. I was like, what happened? Did it work? And he's like, "Oh, no, I'm still in agony. It was worse," and all this. Anyway, next day, this corporal comes walking in again. This recruit can barely even get out of bed at this point. He's in absolute agony with his knackers. And first thing he said to him, he's like, "Did you have that wank?" Like he was surprised it didn't work. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a good job he weren't a medic, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? Yeah. "I've stood on a landmine, Corporal. Oh, quick, wank him off." Do you know what I mean? Anyway, and he's like shocked. Anyway, he said, "Get him out," to him. So he's had to get his old stuff out right in front of everyone in the room, and honestly, they was like cantaloupes, Alan. They was huge. It was definitely something not right with him. And even this corporals looked at him and sort of thought, "Fucking, what's going on here?" sort of thing. Anyway, he took him down the hospital because he'd gone to the med centre, and the medic, believe it or not, we had the army doctor was older than you. Honestly, he gave him antibiotics and said he had a urine infection and sent him on his way. Anyway, chucked him in the car and took him down to Frimley Green Hospital, which is our local military hospital. Turns out he had testicular torsion.
What's that?
He twisted both his testicles and the little, I don't know, cable or whatever you want to call it inside got twisted. It cut off the circulation to both his knackers and he had to have them both lobbed off.
Did he?
Yeah, and the funny thing about that story is his name was Private Alcock. And that is the God's honest truth, yeah. Private Alcock. Anyway, getting back, I'm sure it weren't as exciting how you lost your leg.
Before I lost my leg, the route to losing my leg, I am diabetic, but I didn't lose my leg because I lost it because of sepsis.
You don't look diabetic, you're not that overweight.
Well, I was.
Oh, really?
Well,
It's all them cakes, wasn't it?
I say I was. I've lost. Karen will know this. I'm not going to play that now. I think I probably lost about 3 or 4 stone.
A couple of that's from the leg, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Well,
You can't count that, Alan.
That's right. No, but when I on my right foot, which is my real foot, I haven't got a big toe. It's the first toe I lost.
Okay.
I haven't got the next toe, and the other toes are all weird, and the foot's deformed because I had another illness. I'm very attractive, you know. Lucky I'm married. I will never get a girlfriend now, would I? But my mum had dementia.
Okay.
And when I lost my toe, So I lost my sister a few years ago. My sister, she had diabetes. She lost her toes and then she lost a leg, and then sadly she passed eventually. She was. I come home for it. She passed. And my mum had dementia, and I knew that if I broke the news to her that I've lost a toe or something, she would get upset.
Yeah.
I do it really gently. So I said to the anaesthetist and the surgeon after my operation, I just lost my big toe, which is, it's a fallacy, by the way. You need it for balance. You don't.
Okay.
Right? But nonetheless, it's obviously important, more important than you think it is. Incidentally, they let me see it when I did the operation, and they're not meant to. And I thought I'd be seeing my toe. No, it's that long because they're taking all the bone from inside.
Oh,
it's really
okay.
weird. But anyway, I digress. So I said to them, "Can I please? My mum's coming tonight. She doesn't even know about an operation. She just knows I'm in hospital. Cameron was bringing it. Can I walk or something?" She said, "Well, you're not really meant to." I explained about my mum's dementia and how upset she'd be because of my sister Lorraine. He said, "All right." He said, "You can do 3 steps forward and 3 steps back when your mum comes in." So I know I shouldn't have done what I practiced. I wanted it to be right for my mum, so I put a lot of effort, and it's hard because it's all bandaged up, and you've got a bit of pain and stuff, and it's obviously a lot bigger with all the really big, thick bandages and stuff in there. And I'm practicing, and anyway, the time came. Karen brought my mum. My mum comes in, and I said, "Mum, I've got something to tell you." And I was nervous because no matter how old you are, your mum's still your mum, correct? Right? She comes in and she looks at me. She says, "What is it, Alan?" I said, "I've lost my toe." "Oh, you're going to die, you're going to die." I said, "No, I'm not. It's just my toe." "Oh, you just like your sister, you're going to..." And she was really, really upset. I said, "Look, Mum," and I got out of bed, and then gingerly, not to do with the gingerly, I did 3 steps forward and 3 steps back, and I was so proud that I may have changed my mum's view of it. And I said, "Mum, see, I'm walking." She looks at me, she said, "Alan, that's not walking, that's staggering."
Probably the morphine as well, isn't it?
Oh, it's really, really funny. Well, talking of morphine and things like that, I've had, honestly, no one's going to book me after this. They're going to think I'm going to be dead with that insurance. But I've had a quadruple bypass. And they didn't warn me what would happen after it.
It's like 24 hours in A&E, isn't it, Alan?
No, this is funny. They didn't. You got to find. I find humour in things, particularly things that happen to me.
Definitely.
I think you have to.
Listen, if it didn't kill you,
Exactly.
then-
That's what my wife says. Once I moaned about how much I got wrong with me. She said, "Yeah, but you've survived everything. You're really strong." And I suppose I am. It's up
Definitely,
there.
yeah.
I met, and again I digress, but I met a lot of people with amputees in a hospital. A lot of them, obviously. One bloke, same name as me, Alan. He lost the same bit as I did, just below the leg. Well, halfway below the leg. And another bloke was older than me, and he lost the same as we both did. The older bloke is walking around like I am. The younger bloke, he decided up there that he's now disabled, and therefore, guess what? He's still in a wheelchair.
Finished him off.
Yeah. But going back to the hospital, they didn't warn me that after you come out, because it's quite a big operation, they stop your heart, with potassium.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. It's quite a big operation. They didn't tell me that when you come out of it, the first thing they do is 1-to-1 nursing. So I'm expecting to be in a ward in my head. I was really sad, actually. I wrote all these letters to everyone telling them what I thought of them. I hope some of them don't exist anymore.
Dear Michael, I think you're a cunt.
Yes. I didn't say I think, I said I know.
I never liked you.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny. But it's 1-to-1 nursing. But no one warned me. And it's a beautiful young nurse. And she was actually wearing, I thought in my head it's white. It might be just light blue. When she looks stunning, and she looks in this sort of room. And the first thing I said to her, I said, opened my eyes, and I said, "It's true." I said, "Are you an angel?"
Am I dead?
Yeah, I thought I died. But then they put you in this room with I think it's a 6-bed bay. It might be a 4-bed bay. I think I call it a 6-bed bay. And you've all had heavy operations, like either a bypass or valves or something. You've all had a heavy operation, which means you've had a lot of anaesthetic, and it affects you all the same way. You're talking like I'm talking to you, and all of a sudden, without even any notice, all of us would do it. We just drop off. But the really spooky thing is, each and every one of us, a minute later, 10 minutes later, whatever, would wake up. The room's moved on, and they carry on with the same conversation. It's the most bizarre, freaky thing. But I had mine done over just before Christmas. And again, they don't warn you. They are absolute sods. They do not warn you that the hospital chaplain decides it's a really good idea on the heart ward, and probably the other wards as well, I suppose, to walk around between Christmas cheer. But they start singing hymns. It's from the distance. and you think, oh God, I'm dead again.
God. I had the same sort of experience once that I thought I saw an angel.
Did you?
Yeah, I got choked out by a bouncer outside a nightclub. Yeah, I had a fight with one too many of them, and they sort of got the better of me and choked me out. And I remember being unconscious on the floor and then opening my eyes and seeing this gorgeous blonde policewoman. Yeah, and unfortunately they put me in the back of the car and took me away. But
at least you didn't think she was a stripper, Graham.
yeah, that's a good point. I don't think they do that anymore. Do we get stripograms anymore?
Should we book herself one each?
I don't think you're right to take it, Alan. Jesus Christ.
I hope my
Unless she
wife-
come dressed as a Gabriel Angel, Angel Gabriel or something.
No, yeah.
Oh, Karen wouldn't like it either, would she?
No. No, but yeah, I died anyway a few years ago. I was on this, this Mount Driver people are on. Yeah, people have it for
I think
you.
meant that mountain in Africa.
No.
The fat drug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but also it's used for diabetics.
They've got that and Ozempic, haven't
Yes,
they?
you use
that's
it,
right.
they use it for diabetics as well. And being diabetic and being fat, I can have it. But I was on a forerunner to that. I can't remember the name of it. Trulicity, I think it was. This previous drug, and they upped the dose gradually, and they upped it to a reasonably high level, and it just took my appetite away, and I didn't want to drink or eat or anything, which was terrible because I've got to eat and drink because I'm diabetic, but also I'm human. Yeah, so I was getting worse and worse and worse. I was getting ill and ill, and Karen always knows when I'm ill because I get really, really angry. I was say really, really short, but you found like I'm taking a mickey out of her, don't you? Really, really angry, and I swear a lot, and she knows I'm not well. But I'd also had an operation on my only foot, on the ankle, cutting the tendons to try and straighten the foot out a bit.
Okay.
So I was wearing this cast, and I hadn't been eating or drinking. I was walking around angry and swearing at everything. And our house, the front room's literally at the front of the house, and the toilet and the kitchen are both at the back of the house. And I knew, because I haven't been able to go to the toilet either, I've been constipated. Hello everyone. No, this is funny. And I knew I wanted to either go to the toilet or I wanted to drink. I didn't know which, but they're both down that direction. There's all my thought to think, I've got to go in that direction. So I went down that direction. Anyway, the next thing is Karen found me lying on the floor. She thought I just slipped over because of the cast and all that. But I hadn't. I was unconscious. And I was unconscious for 12 minutes and dead for 3. Yeah, dead for 3 minutes. Karen saw all the changes in me. Now, you have to picture this. I was about 4 stone heavier than I am now. Karen is quite slight, right? She couldn't do much with me. The situation gave her extra strength, like it can do. So she managed to help me get up, even though I wasn't really with it. I was quite unconscious. Was I unconscious? Maybe I was
unconscious.
Well, I was either semi-unconscious then and delirious, or I was fully unconscious. I can't quite remember. Karen will know. She got me on the chair somehow, and she could see the changes in my body. Like all of a sudden, sweat came on, and all my muscles and a few I've got, face fell down, this, that, and the other. To me, afterwards, I thought I'd had a minute's sleep, but honestly, it was quite traumatic for Karen. And she's on the phone to the ambulance people, and they said, where is he? And she's sitting on a chair. They said, get him on the floor. She said, you don't understand the difference in size to us. If he's not dead now, this is when she'd know when I was dead. If he's not dead now, it would be dead by the time I put him on the floor. He's going to bash his head at least. They said, well, you know how they tell you to do the tune to staying alive?
Oh, yeah.
She couldn't do that because I'm sitting up.
Did you not have a BG CD?
No.
Handy? She could have put that on and just copied it.
Is it too soon? There's only one BG left.
She might have put the wrong track on and put How Deep Is Your Love, and then you'd have been fucking a god at them, yeah.
No, I was thinking, we call them the Bee Gees, but there's only one now. Shouldn't it be the BG? Was it too soon to say that?
The B?
The B. No, she couldn't do Staying Alive, so I'm probably the only person on earth who's been brought back to life with Aga toot 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 toot. Honestly,
She was playing whack-a-mole on your chest.
Yeah. But she did marvellous. She told him every change on the phone, and when the ambulance people turned up, they said, well, we usually have to write all this thing down. What happened? But we were listening to you, and we've got everything written down. It was honestly absolutely marvellous. When the first responder turned up, he said, "Has he seen me alive?" He said he was almost disappointed. He said, "I thought he was dead." And Karen said, "He was." And he came up to me and he said to me, "Yeah, he was dead. You can see by him.
He was angry. He was like, I come here for
Yeah,
a death.
yeah. Well,
Fuck, not him half alive.
No.
Turn Agadoo off at all, you silly cow.
It was really, really funny. But I have been through it, I've got to say. But But I'm happy.
You come out the other side, and now you're doing comedy at the comedy club every Friday.
And you think I die on stage, but I
You don't die on stage.
Well,
that's the thing.
Really,
It's the only place you haven't fucking died by the sound of it.
No, I still think you should get a stair lifting. Do you notice that?
I'm not getting a stair lifting just for you. All
But
right?
most of the gigs I
You'll
do.
get fat again, and then I'll have to fucking try and bring you back to life with some shitty song.
What song would you choose?
Huh?
What song would you choose?
What if someone
What song would you choose to bring me back alive, or anyone back alive?
What's the one where everyone sits at a thing and does the
Oh,
rolling?
oops upside your head.
Oops upside your head, yeah.
That'd be a good
Because
one.
I'll just be hitting you around the head. Oops. Get up, Alan. Get up, Alan.
You are funny.
It's terrible, isn't it? Anyway, come on, we've talked about death and destruction fucking
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what are your plans for the future. Obviously bringing up young Callum and...
The biggest part of me just wants to enjoy the comedy.
Can you see yourself, you're not going to give it up like baking, are you? And then move on. So I think you're the one with ADHD, not Callum.
I think you're probably right. No, I'm not going to give it up because there's much more to it. If I'm totally honest with myself, look at myself really, really, really honestly, I love the fact I'm noticed now, which you don't get noticed in much other things at my age. Honestly, I'm not that old, but you know, it's wonderful to be noticed. I'm making some really, really good friends like you. You know, but have you noticed that virtually, not all, but virtually all comedians are really quite bright? They are.
No,
I
I
have, and I find
I actually thought it was the other way around. No, yeah.
I find intelligence in people really startling to to be part of. I just love it, and I love the way we all have different ways of looking at world. We were talking earlier on about comedy, and comedy should be this, comedy should be that. But isn't it wonderful that there's so many different types of comedy and different types of comedian out there?
Yeah. I think that's what makes it so brilliant. I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
diverse. You've got, you know, I think we've all got our own little senses of humour, and it's whether or not other people think our sense of humour is funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you try and write jokes that you don't think is funny, and you're just trying, I think that's when it all sort of falls down around you.
Yeah.
You have to think it's funny for it to sort of hit, doesn't it?
I am writing some jokes though. I have written some jokes which I think just don't suit me, and I try to change them, and some I've managed to change to suit me. And other ones I just put to one side and might give them someone else to think at some point, because I'm probably overthinking it again, like I do. But I do think that I think there's two ways looking at it. As you said, I can either play into what people expect me to be, or I can fight against it. But I'm not quite sure where I land on that at the moment. So
I think I've told you this when you first started, and I think it's the only bit of advice I've got for any comedian is, and it's not really advice because I don't like giving advice, is just be you. Don't try and be something you're not.
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's I think people can see through.
Oh yeah, if you fake.
Yeah, and I think a certain amount of honesty being a comedian, and I think that's what people find funny sometimes. I say a lot of shocking things.
You do.
And I think people find it hilarious because I tend to say what people are thinking.
I tell you where you're really, really strong, really, really strong in my view, is your crowd work. I think you are. I think you've got very few peers with your crowd work. I think you're brilliant.
Yeah, well, I have to, don't I? I have to be here every bloody week, do I? So
I think you're excellent.
I don't mind doing crowd work. I think I do like doing a set. I like being a comedian.
I love watching you doing a set. I love watching.
But yeah, crowd work. I think it's the good thing about crowd work is it's always different. You never know who you're going to have and what people are going to say or what people are going to give you. Do you know what I mean? And I like asking. This is why I've done this podcast. Actually, I like asking people questions. I like finding out little something about them. You know, whether it's just where they come from or what. That's the point. Have you always lived in Southend?
No, I'm a Basden boy.
Oh, really? Same as I.
A Basden
Me as
boy.
well.
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Oh, my mum and dad had the second house on the estate where they just built it in Basden. Used to live in Rockhalls, down near the Gore. You know,
Okay, Whitmore Way,
yeah.
Gore.
And then moved to Langdon. Went to Langdon High Road and school, and then I moved out. Got married to my first wife, and I moved to Vange and.
I lived in Vange.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up. Whereabouts?
Staton Cross.
Oh, I grew up Redgrave Road.
Oh, it's just round the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a few other places. I lived in Basden. I can't remember all of them, to be honest. And then we moved to Westcliff.
Okay.
That's with my first wife. Then we got divorced and we split things 50-50. She had half of it and the solicitor had the other half. I said to my solicitor, I said,
Did you move back in with your mum?
yes, I did for a while.
Yes.
I did for a while.
That's what happens to us, man.
And I said to my solicitor, because they make a fortune. Do you know how it's been proven? It's been proven. This, by the way, it's not a joke. Someone complained about solicitor charge, and they said, "You've charged me, and I happen to know you've charged other people for the same hours, and you only work so many hours a week." And it's a legal precedent. They're allowed to charge if they think about your case, if they're sitting on the toilet. So
Really?
that's how they do so many hours, even though they don't do so many
I
hours.
think about all sorts on the toilet.
Do
I don't really
you
think
now?
about divorce much. No, I've never been divorced. I've never been
Have you
married.
not?
No, I missed my chance.
Well, I said to my solicitor, I said, how much do you charge to answer 3 questions? And she said £500. Why?
Fucking hell.
She said £500. I said, that's a lot of money. She said, what's your third question?
There's me up here asking you all these questions for fuck all.
I know they are. Yeah, I must be honest. They can be good or bad. I had a good solicitor when I got divorced. I got to say in all truth, and she's on occasions when I need advice, she's very, very kind to me even now, and she just very rarely charges me. So.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
I mean, that's very.
It's probably fucking owes you from the divorce, that's why. It's probably still charging you even then. So don't worry, I've got the kitty for what I had out here.
In fact, my previous girlfriend, I recommended. She wanted to get divorced because she had been living apart from her husband for years, and she used her as well because we know she's good. So you do meet people for your life, don't you? That are good.
Yeah, you do.
So I did live with my mum, and then I got a flat. It was over in the town centre, in the Quantock blocks.
Oh yeah.
And I got the 15th floor was.
You wouldn't back out there now, would you?
No. And I was in the flat, and they gave me the flat. And they said, but you can't move in for a month or so. I said, why's that? They said a notorious local drug dealer had it, and we're still finding needles and stashes under the bath. This, that, and the other. We've got to completely renovate it.
Oh, dear.
And they told me I'm not allowed, advised me rather, not to let people in or answer the buzzer if I'm not expecting anyone, because it'd be people wanting to buy drugs.
It's quite ironic, isn't it, since you nearly killed yourself with Ozempic a couple of years later.
Do you want to hear a really bad story about living in that flat?
Go on.
Well, living in that flat, you haven't got your bins, you've got like a chute.
Yeah,
rubbish
that's
chute.
all right.
My previous girlfriend, and this is true, I won't name her in case she lies and sues me, but this is true. A previous girlfriend, we weren't getting on particularly well at the time. By accident, she managed to put down the rubbish chute, my heart tablets, and my mobile phone. I wonder what she's planning. What do you think? I came home one day and he had passed out.
Bloody hell.
I know. Some people are awful, aren't they? Mind you, I suppose living with me, I suppose you might be tempted to do it, mightn't you?
I think you're a dreamer. You still baking?
I am a little bit. I bake some. I'm known mainly for 2 things. I'm known for a honey cake I make. It's actually a Russian cake, but we don't call it that because of all the trouble. We just call it a honey cake now. It's got all these layers in, the really thin layers, and you don't actually make it like a normal cake. You make a dough and you cook them each layer separately for 4 minutes. It takes a while. I can do it all in about 3 hours now. I'm known for that, which I'm always asked for. And I'm also known for my sausage rolls because I put caramelised onions in them.
Oh, really?
And my own pastry.
So we've actually been to Greg's this morning, me and Oscar, for our breakfast.
I could bring some here sometime, you know.
Maybe, yeah, we'd share them around the audience. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I did actually. We got a cake once, didn't we? That was for the year's birthday. We got a cake in May. 6th of May is the day the Comedy Club's birthday.
If I'm still around then.
You can cook it this year. You
It
will
won't-
still be around. Stop
it won't
bloody
be-
saying you're
won't-
not going to be around.
It won't be pretty, but it'll be tasty. So if you turn all the lights up, people can.
Oh, they're all fucking animals in here anyway. I don't care what it looks like.
Throw bits to
They'll
them.
leave here and go to old Dirty Dave's Donny Kebab shop down the road anyway. That looks like shit.
Let me ask you a question. We turn the tables on you.
Go on then.
You said you was in your 40s when you started this, doing comedy. What, with me, it was simply life getting in the way and also overthinking it for those many years and being a bit anxious and stuff. What took you so long?
I never really thought about it, Alan. It wasn't something that ever really and then I went through a bit of a bad mental stage that I really, looking back, I was going through for years, and the person I was with at the time was sort of like, we always just had such a laugh. Like she was a bit of a comedian herself actually, and we just used to have a proper laugh. And I don't know really, I felt I was going through a really bad time, probably the worst time I've ever been through, and I just wanted a way out of how I was feeling or what I was doing. And I think I started listening to podcasts, and I thought, do you know what, maybe I could try comedy. And I sort of thought, not stupidly, but I sort of thought this might be a way of sort of getting out of the rut I'm in, maybe making some sort of success out of it, making her proud.
That's lovely.
And we split up anyway, but it sort of drove us apart in the end, because selfishly I sort of got I sort of got that in my head more than I did our relationship, and I sort of was dragging her here and dragging her to these fucking different comedy nights, and we weren't going for a good time anyway. I was obviously all up in my own head, and it sort of fucked us up. But yeah, that really, I just wanted her to be proud of me, and I thought I might be able to be successful. And do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a bit sad really, but
no, I don't think it is. I think what I'm hearing from you is, I think, like, if we're all honest, or at least most of us, certainly me, it's like a therapy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is though, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose.
So you're very much where you're different to me is I tend to overthink things.
I overthink.
Well, you say that, but you're very much a doer. When you decide to do something, Terry,
I just do the wrong things. There's stuff that I should have done that I haven't done. And
let me tell you something wise, which I often think about. You've heard of WD-40, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Do you know what it stands for? WD is water dispersant, which is what it does.
Okay.
But 40, this is the interesting part of it. It took 40 times for them to get the formula right. 39 failures. But what did they do? They kept on going, right? So with you may have made some mistakes, but you probably learned more from your mistakes than you have from your successes, I would suggest.
Oh, I'd like to think so. I think, yeah, I'd like to think so. I think, but it's sad that you have to learn lessons to know where you went wrong, isn't it? Because sometimes things are already gone. And
yeah, but personal experience in your life that you wouldn't have had if you hadn't have gone out there and put yourself out there. And maybe it was meant to be. Maybe she was right for you, for instance, in terms of a relationship at that time, but wouldn't be. The memory is probably right for you now, because the memory of people is often better, or even sometimes worse, than they actually really were. But you are doing fantastic.
Well, I'm trying.
Look at no, seriously, I know you're off camera. But you've got an amazing son there as well, and you've done that.
Well, I try.
Yeah,
I think he's more amazing on his own. I think what he's had to go through with me, I think I think he's had to be amazing. I think that's just, and he's amazing. He's a brilliant kid.
If you hadn't given him the essence when he was younger, he wouldn't have been able to grow into it.
No. I think as a parent, you always feel guilty that you should have given more. And
you do.
I think a lot of my life, I live on guilt anyway, and I think that's why I wasn't a very nice person for a long time, and I think
I struggle to see that.
Well, I wasn't. I had a lot of issues, and I think I didn't treat people how I should have treated them. And I think now
I'm a different person. I think most people are as you get older. I'm a completely different person.
But that's going back to the thing, isn't it? It's a shame that you have to lose brilliant things around you for you to
appreciate it.
Like what life is. Like I said, I never really trusted anyone, and I sort of didn't really have a lot good to say about people, and I sort of was more worried about what people thought of me than what people that cared about me thought of me. And this is getting very deep, isn't it, Alan? Sort of like
this is interesting because this shows the rounded people we are. I mean, we love making jokes. We love making people laugh. That's something that all comedians got in common.
I think that's one thing. I think
it comes from the dark place.
I think as much as a failure that I've always ever felt, I knew that I could make people laugh, and I think that's sometimes I thought that's all I ever had. That's the only good thing I had in my life. But
you've got a lot more than that.
It is what it is.
I didn't know you back then, but you are very, 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 very supportive, ridiculously supportive, right? you're just amazing, and from what I can see, you're an excellent father, and
Well-
and you are very, 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 very much a doer. I mean, it's not easy to run a club, and particularly when you've got a day job as well, and you're bringing up your single parent.
No,
but
that,
you've done all
I
that.
will accept that it is an easy one in this place.
But you do
is.
it.
Yeah, but I sort of done it under false promises. I only, like I said, I've done it because I wanted to be successful and make something of myself,
But-
and for somebody else and everything else.
Have you got an end game, or are
It's
you happy
gone
as you
now.
are?
I just plod along now, mate. I haven't really got any sort of anything for the future. I
But
don't-
you're successful already. You see.
Well, you say that.
Well, I
don't
do
know.
say that. I was talking to Danny Andrews the other day. I've got a lot of time for him. Actually, I've got a lot of time for virtually every comedian you have here, to be honest. I mean, Pete Withers is...
Danny
probably-
won the Black Hat.
I
a couple
know,
of weeks ago,
I
as
know.
well.
He actually won it, and that was amazing. And he sent me his set that he won it with, and it was storming.
He's coming tonight, by the way.
I know. He told
He'll be
me.
there tonight.
He told me, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. He says lovely things about you. He says that when he hadn't done it for a while, and you gave him as regular and as much time as he wanted. But you do that, you see, to anyone, as long as they ain't taking mickey out of you, which because you're only human, and no one does. I don't think.
Not to my face. I'm a bit of a lump, aren't I?
I don't think anyone does. I don't think it would matter how strong you are, because the first thing you do when people meet you is you're helping them, right? That's all that matters. I mean, do you really think if I'd have gone anywhere else, I would have been able to go back every week or whatever?
Probably not,
Right.
but
And if I didn't do that, would I still be sitting here now? Would I still be doing the job now?
I don't know. I think you take a little bit. I think you give me too much credit
No, I don't.
for how good you actually
I
are.
don't.
I think
I don't.
I think you're a lot better than you think you are.
I know I'm over the top when I talk to people. I'm told this a lot, but I learned this lesson when I had a heart attack at age 39. It getting all dark and dim again. Actually, in truth,
They had to fucking bring up something else that happened to them, didn't they? Jesus
I was
Christ.
39 and 1 month to the very day, 1 month after my birthday, and I had a heart attack, and it completely changed me. You know what blokes are like. I know I'm more probably gentle than most blokes, but you know what blokes are like. We don't tend to tell people nice things, do we?
No,
We've got no problem telling people bad things, right? But we don't tend to. But it changed me. I went a bit wild for a month or two. Like 3 shredded a week, that kind of thing. That's me, you're a tough guy.
Bought a skateboard.
Oh no! I know. Stayed up past 10 o'clock once. yeah. I had 2 women once. No, it was 1 woman
Hello.
twice. No, it's 1 woman twice, but it's still a personal best.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, I went a bit wild, and then I come down to earth, and I realised in a really weird way, that you've got to tell people the nice things. You might be the only person to tell someone something nice. Now, it's getting really dark now. Men are more likely to commit suicide than women. You know that's a fact.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You may be the only person who says to someone one day, you know what, that's nice what you've done there or something. We used to go, because Callum is Callum, and before Callum, my mum had dementia. We used to go to carers groups a lot, for tea and coffee and stuff. And they had one at, the Hadley Salvation Army place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with religion. It's just to do with going there. And because it was carers, we used to go there. Sometimes take my mum. Sometimes my mum would be in respite, or with someone in care at home, whatever. Anyway, the point of the story is, it's staffed by people who have got usually learning difficulties, and it's to give them work experience.
That's
Blah,
why
blah,
the
blah.
tea tastes horrible, isn't
It
it?
probably is what the tea tastes, because sugar and salt look so similar, don't they?
Yeah.
But we used to, at Christmas time, Karen and I, we get little presents for all the staff, all the on the floor staff, the waiters and waiters, and for the people behind, we used to get a box of chocolates, the ones we never saw. And these were only like cheap presents. They weren't. They were just a token present, like a plastic beer glass with straw in it or something.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
So we should give that, and all the waiters and the waitresses love it. To my shame, now you didn't know this, but my sister, who we lost, she was sent as well. She was starved of oxygen as a baby, so she was sent. We lost her there. So I should understand, send more, but I don't. Do you know why I don't? Because to me, I didn't treat my sister different to a normal sister. My sister was my sister. So I suppose in a way, I allow people to be normal without making too many allowances because of my experience. And everyone was really nice. All of them were really nice to us, apart from one boy. His name was Kyle. I won't never forget him. he took the present off us and just put his head down and just walked away. I said to Karen, that was really rude. You may be special needs, but that was really rude. And she said, yeah, but he is special needs, you've got to make allowances. And I said, well, I'd never do it with my sister or her friends. And, me being selfish, not looking at the bigger picture. What I didn't realise was, we heard from other people we knew, was behind the scenes, he would not stop talking to the people in his world, in his circle, his friends. Oh, look what I've got. They like me. Look what I've got. This is wonderful. And I didn't see that. I was more concerned with how I felt than how he felt. That's wrong, right? You learn that. So I now take people, and I might even say to someone, that even a bloke, oh, that's a nice shirt. I'm not being weird or flirty or gay. Not that I've got a problem with gay. I've got a problem with no one. But I'm not. I'm simply being nice. Do you know what else is funny? Women. You know women?
Yeah, I know. Sort of. I haven't had one for a long time, but yeah.
When you've got enough money, you'll find out. In the old days, even I was at the edge of the old days when I was growing up, you could say something nice to someone, like, that's a nice blouse, that's nice shoes, whatever, you look nice, without it necessarily being flirty. These days, yeah. So I'm leading on from, I still do now say to a chap, you look really smart today. I often say to women, and my Karen knows this, I often say to women, because a lot of people we know who are single mums or whatever and the other, and they've got no one. It's still harder for a woman than a man in this world, Like, we can just throw some clothes on and go out. We can wear the same clothes several times in the week. A woman, they can be judged, particularly by other women I've noticed, with how they present themselves, how they look, this, that and the other. And it's so nice when there's no mileage in it, there's no hidden agenda to say to someone, you can see they made an effort and, so, you look nice today. And it shouldn't be taken as flirting. The people in our world, my little world with Karen, they know I'm not being flirty.
Yeah.
But I have to be very, very careful with strangers, to the point where if I see someone looking nice, I won't say it unless Karen's with me, because somehow or other that shows I'm not being flirty. And also, at my age now, I'm also very worried about looking like a right perv. I'm not being as funny as you want me to be, am I, today?
The lymph and the Mac don't help, does it?
No, particularly when I got rid of the buttons, put the Velcro on.
Yeah, I actually agree. That was one thing that where I spent so long being not the best person of myself. I always, when I got into the good headspace, I thought, always tell people
the truth
that you care about, and don't. I struggled
very,
with
very
my
important.
emotions for years and how to love properly and everything, and I think it was easier to be horrible or
it's easy to
whatever
be
than it was just to be honest about how you feel.
Yeah.
Because I think being a man, sometimes you don't, you think you're going to get judged, or you think people are going to laugh at you, or you think whatever.
People
and
think
by
more
doing
of you.
that, you just push good people away.
Yeah. You make someone feel better and actually feel noticed, as I said earlier on. When you feel noticed, whatever way it is, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think we should finish on, say something nice to someone today if you get the chance. But don't be pervy like Alan, alright? Don't
go up to someone and say, nice boobs, love.
Nice ass.
No.
Anyway,
thank you
Alan,
very much.
You've been fantastic as always. I'll see you tonight.
I'm sorry I wasn't so funny today. It was quite deep, but I enjoyed
It's
it.
been very deep, actually. It's been more like Loose Women than it has the comedy podcast.
I've always loved loose women. not the programme. No, just loose
we're
women.
actually in Shoebury tonight, so there might be some there. All right. Anyway, thanks for coming. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Terry.
Love you, Alan. See you later, man.